Hi, my name is Juliet Grayson, and this is talk number 59. And this is the first in a little series on anger. I'm going to talk about anger is not the enemy, that's this talk. Then the next one is when the past walks into the room. Why does this feel bigger than what's actually happened? The third talk in the series is when anger becomes rage. What happens when the nervous system gets overwhelmed? The fourth one is the volcano and the iceberg. Why do partners protect themselves differently? The fifth one is hidden anger. What happens when the anger can't be spoken? And then the sixth one is finding your voice. What does healthy anger actually look like? So this one is number 1 in the series, Anger is Not the Enemy, and this is talk number 59. When we think about anger, many of us automatically think about something negative. Arguments, raised voices, conflict. Something that needs to be controlled or avoided. But what if anger itself is not the problem? What if the anger is actually trying to tell us something important? Many people have grown up believing that anger is dangerous. I include myself in that. In our family of origin, we didn't do anger. Perhaps we lived with someone whose anger felt frightening or unpredictable. Perhaps there were slammed doors, harsh words, or criticism that left us feeling unsafe. Perhaps we grew up, like I did, in a family where anger simply wasn't allowed. We learned to smile, keep quiet, and say, it doesn't matter. But emotions that are not allowed don't disappear. They often find another way of speaking. Anger in its healthy form is not destructive. It's information. It's our internal alarm system. It tells us that something matters. It tells us when a boundary is being crossed, when something feels unfair, or when we need to pay attention to ourselves or our relationship. It doesn't blame. It doesn't shout. It doesn't need to make someone else wrong. Healthy anger is calm and clear. It says, that hurt me. I need something different. I don't agree. This matters to me. I once worked with a woman who described herself as easygoing. She was proud that she rarely argued with her partner. She said, I just want things to be peaceful. But over time, we discovered that what she called peace was actually silence. Her partner made most of the decisions in their relationship, where they went, how they spent their weekends, what happened with money. She often said, I don't mind. Except she did mind. She'd learned that expressing a preference might create conflict, so she stopped expressing herself. Slowly, the resentment built. Eventually, she found herself becoming angry about small things, and she couldn't understand why. The argument was never really about the small thing. It was about all the times that she hadn't felt heard. Healthy anger would have spoken up much earlier. It would have sounded like this. I would like us to make this decision together. I want my opinion to matter too. I feel like I've been disappearing in this relationship. These sentences don't destroy connection, they create the possibility of connection. Another client once described anger as a messenger I kept trying to silence. I thought that was a very powerful image. The message may be uncomfortable, but the messenger is not the enemy. The difficulty comes when we ignore the message for too long. When anger is repeatedly dismissed or swallowed or pushed away, it can grow. It can become resentment. It can become distance. It can eventually become something much harder to manage. So perhaps the question is not, how do I stop feeling angry? A more helpful question might be, what's my anger trying to show me? Because healthy anger is not asking us to fight, it's asking us to pay attention. It's saying, something here matters. And when we learn to listen to anger with curiosity rather than fear, we discover something important. Anger doesn't have to be the thing that drives people apart. Sometimes, expressed with honesty and care, anger is the very thing that allows two people to find their way back to one another. So there's another few in this series. Feel free to keep reading them or listening to them, as whatever you prefer. I love hearing about how they land, so please give me some feedback. https://bit.ly/Juliet Muses, JULIETMUSES. And if you're interested, we have a support group, which is an emailing network for therapists. So if you're a therapist and it would be helpful to have some support, you can talk about books you'd like to read or recommendations you have for a client, or suggestions that you'd like to get from people, or even referrals that you'd like to hand over to another therapist because you're too busy. Or if you'd like to receive some referrals, then join the emailing network. If you go to www.therapyandcounselling.co.uk and look at the menu at the top, you'll see Counsellor Network Groups UK. So therapyandcounselling.uk/counsellor-network-groups-UK. Take care. Go well. Oh, and I forgot to say, these support groups are for English-speaking therapists all over the world. So anyone can join. There's some for North England, Midlands, South England, Wales, and those who live outside the UK but speak English. Take care, go well, and spread the word about our networks. I'd love there to be more people joining. Bye.